The apartment went deathly quiet. The second my best friend's footsteps faded down the hallway, leaving me alone with the one man I'd spent years avoiding, her older brother, Leo. I was months behind on rent and desperate, but Leo didn't offer a loan. He offered a game with high stakes, and even higher consequences. He turned the deadbolt with a slow, deribere tokuri, pocketed the key, and whispered, "Rule number 1. Sarah doesn't find out how the debt got settled." Before I could protest, he claimed my lips in a searing, forbidden kiss that made me forget every reason I should say no. Now, I'm trapped in a locked room, realizing that to save my home, I have to lose myself to the man my best friend trusts the most. Dear listeners, before I began telling this complicated story of my life, I ask you to support my channel, subscribe and leave a like, and write the comment. Which city you are listening from this is very important for us. And now, enjoy listening. The apartment went deathly quiet the second Sarah's footsteps faded down the hallway. She'd forgotten her charger at the cafe and promised to be back in 20 minutes. I was left standing in the living room with the one person I had spent 3 years avoiding, her older brother, Leo. Leo wasn't like Sarah. He was older, colder, and he had a way of looking at me that made me feel like an open book he'd already read. He leaned against the kitchen counter, tossing a heavy silver coin in the air. "I heard you're short on the rent again, Maya," he said, his voice a dark, velvet rasp. "Sarah worries about you, but I think you just need a better benefactor." I felt the heat rise to my cheeks. "I'll figure it out, Leo. I don't need your charity." "It's not charity," he murmured, stepping closer, until the scent of expensive leather and wood smoke clouded my senses. He caught the coin and pressed it into my palm. "It's a game. High stakes. Yurozu. Well, you belong to the house for the night." He didn't wait for me to agree. He walked to the door, turned the deadbolt with a slow. Leo didn't move away. He stayed in my space, his shadow looming over me. He pulled me forward, and for a heartbeat, the world stopped. The kiss was deep, hungry, and tasted of forbidden power. My hands found their way into his hair, pulling him closer. I couldn't answer. And the sound of Sarah's key, nowhere to be heard. The bedroom door clicked shut, and suddenly, the game felt very real. Leo sat on the edge of the bed, watching me with a proprietary stillness. "You lost the toss, Maya," he reminded me, his voice a low vibration. "Now, let's see how well you follow instructions." He made me come to him, making me feel every inch of the distance. He treated the next hour like a transaction, but the heat was anything but business. "Every touch, WS, a signature," he claimed me, with a relentless, heavy energy that made me forget my own name, let alone my rent. "You're doing so well," he growled against my skin, his hands possessive and firm. "Just remember, every time you see Sarah from now on, you'll be thinking about this room. You'll be thinking about the debt you're paying off right now." The sound of the front door opening downstairs shattered the trance. Sarah was back. Leo was already dressed, adjusting his watch as if we'd spent the last 2 hours discussing the weather. He leaned down, brushing a stray hair from my face, and dropped an envelope on the nightstand. "Rents. Covet. Maya. Consider the interest paid in full." I scrambled to get dressed as he unlocked the bedroom door and stepped out, just as Sarah walked in. "Hey, you're still here?" she asked, looking between us. Leo just smirked. "Just making sure Maya was okay while you were gone." Sarah hugged me, smelling like the cafe and innocence. "You look flushed. Maya, are you okay?" I looked over her shoulder at Leah, who was watching me with that same predatory calm. I'm fine, Sarah. I lied. The envelope of cash feeling heavy in my pocket, just a long game of cards. I think I finally won. I woke up to the smell of expensive coffee and the sound of Sarah humming in the kitchen. For a split second, I forgot the silver card under my pillow and the weight of the envelope in my drawer. Then I saw the bruise on my collarbone, a signature left by Leo before he unlocked the door. I threw on a high-necked sweater, my heart hammering as I walked into the kitchen. Sarah was beaming, holding up a shopping bag. Maya! You won't believe it. Leo just sent me a massive transfer. He said it was a family bonus, and that I should take you out for a spa day. He said, you looked stressed lately. I nearly choked on my water. He wasn't just paying my rent. He was buying my silence with Sarah's happiness. Satasu. Generous of him. I managed to say, generous? Who? Sarah laughed, leaning against the counter. It's weird. Leo doesn't give away money for free. He always expects a return on his investment. I wonder what he's up to. As if on cue, my phone buzzed on the counter. A text from an unknown number. The spa day is just a distraction to get her out of the house. I'll be over at 2 p.m. to collect the second installment of your debt. Don't be late. Sarah left for the spa at 1:30 p.m., leaving the apartment echoing with a silence that felt like a trap. At exactly 2 p.m., the deadbolt clicked. Leo didn't knock. He owned the key, and now he acted like he owned the space. He walked into the living room, shedding his damp coat. He looked at me, his eyes dark and hungry, scanning the high-necked sweater I wore. To Heidi's mark, covering up Maya? He asked, his voice a low, dangerous rumble. You can hide the skin, but you can't hide the way your pulse jumps when I walk into a room. He didn't wait for a response. He crossed the floor in 3 strides, pinning me against the wall. He reached up, his fingers hooking into the neckline of my sweater, pulling it down just enough to see the bruise. The rent was just the down payment, he whispered, his face inches from mine. This is the interest. He crashed his lips against mine, a kiss that tasted of rain and cold command. It was deeper than the first time, more possessive, more desperate. I felt my knees give way, my hands clutching his shoulders as the lie I was living for Sarah began to crumble under the heat of his touch. Rule number 2. He breathed against my mouth, his thumb tracing my jawline. You'll never say no to a collection call, Sarah. My heart didn't just drop, it stopped. Maya. Are you home? Her voice called out from the foyer, sounding confused. I forgot my phone. And the spa won't take my digital wallet. Panic, cold and sharp, flooded my veins. Leo didn't move. He didn't even look startled. He just looked down at me with a dark, wicked glint in his eyes, his hand still firmly around my waist. He seemed to thrive on the risk, while I felt like I was dying. Get in the closet? I hissed, my voice barely a thread of sound. Leo didn't budge. He leaned in, his lips grazing my ear, his breath hot and steady. Make me, he challenged, a low vibration that made my skin crawl and burn at the same time. I grabbed his shirt, dragging him toward the heavy oak wardrobe in the corner, just as Sarah's footsteps reached the hallway. I shoved him inside and slammed the door shut, the click of the latch sounding like a thunderclap in the silent room. I turned around, leaning my back against the wardrobe, my breath coming in jagged gasps. Sarah appeared in the doorway, looking flustered. There you are. Why is it so dark in here? And why are you breathing like you just ran a marathon? She stepped closer, her eyes scanning the room, landing on Leo's damp coat draped over the chair. My blood turned to ice. Da. Is someone here? She asked, her voice dropping to a suspicious whisper. I was just exercising, Sarah, I lied, the words feeling like ash in my mouth. I stepped forward, blocking her view of the wardrobe. And that coat, it's mine. I bought it at that vintage shop yesterday. I felt the wardrobe vibrate behind me. Leo was leaning against the other side of the wood, a silent, predatory reminder that he'd